Hey, welcome back to Night Views. We're back with Grace Slick and Michelle Mangione. You can get their new single, The Edge of Madness, on GrammyMuseum.org. So definitely want to check that out. Also, I wanted to ask you, Grace, I read somewhere, obviously we know you have a daughter with Jefferson Airplane guitarist Paul Kantner. I heard during the stay in the hospital for your daughter's birth, you told a nurse that you intended to name the child God with a lowercase g because you wished for the child to remain humble. Tell us how the nurse reacted to that and what was the outcome of that.
I thought I was just messing around with the nurse because she was Catholic. So I thought I'd pull the God thing into it just to see how she'd react. She went directly to the phone and called a columnist named Herb Cain of the San Francisco Chronicle, told him. And since then, China's 39 years old, and she's had to answer, no, my name wasn't really God. My mother was just playing with the...
God, when my girlfriend told me, she looked at a few interviews with you. She told me you were a pisser, but God, you're cracking me up over here. Can we like hang out every day of the week or something? You can keep my spirits up.
I think Grace is busy. You know?
And Michelle's cracking up at her, looking at her like, geez, how long do I have to be around her before I get used to this stuff, right? Come on, Michelle. You know that's what you were
want
thinking.
to be around this house because we have this stuff called flarp, and you stick your finger into it and it makes fart noises. Now I'll tell you who's doing that. Me. I'm almost 71. China's boyfriend, who's 51, and China, who's almost 40. And we crack up and have fart wars.
Oh my God!
Get the best fart out of this thing, and we all three have these little things, and we do this farting. And we're only allowed to do it during commercials.
Oh.
Only a rocker chick. Only a rocker chick. You know what? I have an interesting question. Grace, do you mind me asking you a quick question?
Sure.
My girlfriend, again, she was looking at some of your old stuff, some of the interviews that you've done in the past and whatnot. She told me that you were invited to the White House at one point during your career, and that you had every intention, and I forgive me if I'm pulling out any skeletons here, but you had every intention in slipping LSD in Richard Nixon's coffee. Or tea, excuse me, tea.
The reason why I got asked to the White House was because Finch College is very small, and I had gone there 10 years before. One of the daughters, I forget, Nikki or somebody, and she sent out invitations to all of the alumni of Finch College to come to a tea at the White House.
Right.
Now, mainly all you learned at Finch College was how to pour tea anyway. So I had that down. It's a stand-up deal. You don't sit down at a formal tea. You stand up. I'm an entertainer. I be gesturing around. I had a long fingernail for cocaine, and I put about 600 mics of acid into my pocket, and I fully intended to gesture over Richard Nixon's teacup. You can't taste the stuff.
Yes.
But like 45 minutes later, he would have been wandering around being real loony. He did that anyway, so they wouldn't have paid attention to it.
Perfect.
But they wouldn't let me in. I went with Abby Hoffman. They didn't know they were sending a invitation to Grace Slick. They sent it to Grace Wing, which is my maiden name.
Ah, I see. So they hadn't made that connection between rocker chick and college girl.
I called up Abby and said, we're going to the White House. Now, when we lined up with the rest of the ladies and their husbands or boyfriends, the security guard came up to me and said, I'm sorry, you can't go in. I said, but I have an invitation. He said, yeah, but you're on the FBI list. They didn't even say anything to Abby. This is Abby Hoffman, they didn't say anything to him at all.
Wow.
So they wouldn't let me in, but it didn't matter because Richard got himself out by being a whack job.
Right, absolutely.
You didn't need to slip him LSD to have him act wacky.
God, I can't imagine what stupid decisions he would have made had he been on LSD. I mean, come on.
Maybe he would have turned out to be a better president on LSD. Who knows?
Opposite.
Yeah. Just want to test it and see.
I got an email here from Mary Ann to the chat about an email here, and they want to know if there is a tour schedule, either Grace or Michelle.
A tour schedule for what?
I guess to promote The Edge of Madness if you're going to be touring.
No, I can't go on airplanes because I've got I call it exploding feet. I won't even bother going into it. You can't catch it, and it's very rare. They don't have anything for it. So I have to sit around the house with air conditioners aimed at my feet.
Oh, poor you.
Very weird.
I don't even have air conditioning. Poor you. Yeah, I'm on a radio show and I don't have air conditioner. Laugh it up.
Ew, don't have windows either. You.
Uh,
No, no, just to let you guys know, I will be going to New Orleans in there is a benefit for the Gulf Coast on October 16th, and I'm going to be doing a few shows in New Orleans. One of them is, it's called, let's see if I can get this right. It's called the Warehouse Fest 2010 Be Part of the Solution
Nice.
Gulf Coast benefit.
Wow, it's a mouthful.
Yeah. Yes.
Big name for a big cause. Now you should definitely get us that information, and we'll put a promo together, and we'll get the word out as much as we can, because we want here at Night Views, we want to do our part as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
and we'll put due to Grace's exploding feet that she'll only be there in spirit.
That's right. That's right. But she will be there in spirit.
So,
Well, I got to pump myself now. You can go also to areaarts.com and look at what is loosely called, what I do, art.
Don't even say that. Look, my girlfriend checked out your art. Now, forgive me.
maybe your girlfriend should be doing
Yeah,
this
I know
interview.
she does all the research for me. No, I was too busy listening to the Edge of Madness, to be honest with you, to do anything else. But she's digging your art. She totally loved your art. So please be proud of that. And she's a tough critic too. She's nobody not to speak her mind. And Rob knows that because she used to be on this show and she tore him apart. And as you can see, she's not on the show anymore. But no, but yeah, I can't wait to check it out. I know that they had, I know that there was an exhibit that your art was being shown at where they played The Edge of Madness for the first time. So don't even try that crap. We know you got skills, girl.
Okay.
I also wanted to ask you about White Rabbit. That's a very big hit that you wrote, Grace, and I want to know what inspired you to write that song, and what was the songwriting process behind White Rabbit?
Well, in one sense, it's a miserable failure in that it's very hard even for me to understand what I was talking about. Our parents, when we were very little, used to read us stories like Alice in Wonderland, who takes at least 5 different drugs in the book, literally.
Right,
gets
right.
And Wizard of Oz. They fall down in a field of poppies and wake up and suddenly see the Emerald City.
Yes.
Peter Pan. You sprinkle a little white dust on your head and suddenly you can fly. So they're reading all this and they ask us, why do you take drugs? Well, were you paying attention when you were reading us these children's stories where everybody takes drugs?
Right. Everybody's off in some crazy fantasy land.
Yeah, so the White Rabbit's supposed to be written at the parents. But, I didn't really nail that one down, I don't think. But if you are paraphrasing Lewis Carroll and you're paraphrasing Ravel, probably it's not going to be too terrible of a song, regardless of what you're saying.
Right.
So basically, I ripped off not exactly, because then you'd get lawsuits. You have to be careful when you rip people off. You have to go, So it was odd, too, because it's not a rock song. It's a Spanish march. And people liked it. And good.
Well, that's part of the reason. That's one of my favorite sounds, is because it is different. It is unique, and it immediately that there's something different about it. There's something a little twisted about it, and it's nice.
And we're gonna play it for our lovely audience, and so you can hear this song White Rabbit. And this is from Jefferson Airplane, written and sung by Grace Slick. It's White Rabbit. There it is, White Rabbit by Grace Slick, Jefferson Airplane.
Yeah, that's a damn good song.
It is. The vocal. You have an amazing voice, Grace.
Well, it's unusual.
She still does too.
Yeah. No, it's wonderful. You both have unique styles, and I was even going to say this about Grace. I was listening to your MySpace. Yes, I did that myself. My girlfriend didn't need to do that for me. I went to your MySpace. I was listening to your songs, and what popped in?
Space.
Huh?
Are you
I
talking?
don't have a space.
Well,
I don't have a Twitter. I don't have a blog. I have an
Where did I
iPad.
tell me where I heard your music then? Because I went onto a site affiliated with you, and I heard tons of your music. Now somebody tell me where I heard that.
Somebody else has made up a site because I don't do any of that.
Well, I just
don't-
Googled you, and there it was. Okay, that's all I can tell you. Either way, I'm trying to give you a compliment here. If you just...
No, you're complimenting somebody else. Grace says it's not her.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't know any Jefferson Airplane songs, right? No, but it transcend. Your voice really does transcend genres. I mean, I heard a blues song that you did. I heard a couple of songs that sounded like they had a little bit of country to them. And it amazed me that no matter what kind of song you're singing, your voice just kind of rises to the occasion. And your career was a little bit short, don't you think?
No, I went all during the second half of the 60s, all during the 70s, all during the 80s. So 25 years in rock and roll, and that's enough.
No, it's not. No, it's not. That's what I'm saying is we want you to keep on rolling. So we want you out there in New Orleans with Michelle, and we want to get this thing cracking.
All right. Well, I just wanted to remind everyone that Michelle and Grace's single, The Edge of Madness, get that at GrammyMuseum.org. We're going to take a short break, but we're going to be right back with Grace Slick and Michelle Mangione. We'll be back.
Do you have credit card debt? Is it difficult?